Many of Australia's oldest homes have been altered and augmented over their long histories, as new owners have added rooms and closed-in spaces for growing families and other practical needs. But often, those changes and additions have been unsympathetic or downright ugly, and sometimes those changes hide a hell of a lot of what's wrong with the original structure. So what happens when you buy a 200-year-old farmhouse and unwrap a series of unsightly layers to reveal a historic heart that's a precarious, small and relatively plain structure that seems intent on falling down? Is a restoration even going to be worth it?
I'm Anthony Burke, a professor of architecture,
Brilliant.
passionate about buildings of the past
This is incredibly impressive.
and what they can tell us about better ways to live in the future.
This is very confronting. It's a ruin.
It is.
Join me as I travel the country, meeting homeowners embarking on the challenge of a lifetime. Restoring homes from the 1800s to the swinging 60s. Looking to balance our rich cultural heritage with life in modern Australia.
In a whisper-quiet saddling yard, in a whisper-quiet pocket of the New South Wales south coast, Kelly Dunn and her very good friend Archie are having a quiet conversation.
Boy. It's quite amazing to have such a big animal, you know, and you build up such a trust with them. Boy.
To be fair, Kelly does most of the talking, but Archie's replies are unmistakable. Fluent, faithful compliance. They adore each other, and it shows.
Horses have pretty much always been my favourite thing, really, for as long as I can remember. They're big, huge, strong animals, but I find them very peaceful. And it doesn't really matter how much of a bad day I've had. I always feel better if I go and spend some time with the horses.
It's no exaggeration to say Kelly has made horses her life. She turned her affinity with them and affection for them into a number of careers.
As a jockey, I was riding in the Sydney tracks, had some winners at Randwick, Warwick Farm, quite a number of winners. I knew it was never going to be a long-term career, but I loved it while I did it.
Kelly then joined the police force and became a mounted officer as Sydney hosted the world at the 2000 Olympics.
There were so many highlights from anything from working under the New Year's Eve fireworks to doing all the football events, and you get to go to a lot of sporting games, so it was a good job. I enjoyed it.
Horses might just be the best thing to happen to Kelly, but one fateful day, they became the worst.
Changed the course of everything, really. I ended up having a really bad fall from it was a trial police horse. It wasn't actually a police horse, it was a new one that had come in for trial. I actually fractured my top 4 ribs, my collarbone, my left shoulder, completely shattered my shoulder blade and had several fractures through my thoracic spine. I've had years and years of ongoing surgeries from my spinal injuries and shoulder injuries, and the injuries are lifelong. I have to manage it on a daily basis.
Rebuilding her body and her confidence has been an arduous process, but incredibly, it hasn't deterred her from another confronting and complicated and potentially painful rebuilding project. Bringing this 200-year-old teetering farmhouse on 8 or so rolling hectares back from the brink.
What I was looking for was land for the horses, land for me. I just love being in the open space. When I came out here for the first time, I walked away and thought, there's no way I can take on this. But then I started looking into the history and I couldn't let it go. It's just peaceful, it's calm, you can feel the history in the place, I think. Even though sort of everything's falling down, it has a weird charm about it.
Kelly bought the property known as Shannon View in 2024 for $810,000. It's just outside the coastal riverside town of Moruya, a 4-hour drive south of Sydney. But importantly, there's accommodation and some willing helpers nearby. Mum, Lindy, and Dad Peter are 20 minutes away at Churros Head.
I think it's a very clear hierarchical relationship.
Yeah, she's the boss.
She's at the top, she's the boss, and we'll do what we're told.
I can't keep up with either one of them. They're fit, they go at it, they get things done, so I think it'll be great having them on board to help things.
She'll need all the help she can muster. Kelly wants to be hands-on with this restoration, but her injuries will define what she can and can't do.
I'm normally at work by around about 8 o'clock.
Plus, she works full-time as a primary school teacher and she's studying to complete her master's in psychology.
Often by the time I'm home, it might be sort of 6:30, have a shower, have some dinner, and then get into it. And I really need like as many hours as I can just sitting and knuckle down until I just literally can't keep my eyes open and get a bit of sleep and get up and go again the next day.
So finding enough time for this daunting project is going to be a challenge. And Shannon's View's going to need loads of time and love and attention. It was built by the first European settler in the Moruya area. It stood for 2 centuries, but now it's barely standing.
It's pretty decrepit. I love the house, but it's pretty disgusting in the state that it is. Some of the ceilings are peeling off. It has huge cracks. You can't walk anywhere without being very careful of where you're putting your feet. I don't even know what's under the carpet, so it's pretty bad.
It's pretty modest. Certainly no grand country pile. But this homestead is a beloved landmark here, and the local community will be watching Kelly's efforts very closely.
I feel like as much as I've done in my life, taking on the project of Shannon View is probably going to be the biggest thing I've ever tried to do.
Oh boy, heritage hiding amongst the ruins, I think. Hi, Kelly.
Hello, how are we?
Oh, very well. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Great.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you and lovely to meet your dream.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. What did you fall in love with, if I'm...
The cobwebs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like a bit of a mongrel at the moment. I know it's very old, like 1820...
1829.
29. That's very old for us. So I can see that kind of part of it lurking behind this awful built-in veranda space.
Yep.
So how did you just kind of get past that and say, yes, this is the one for me?
I don't really know. I actually tried to talk myself out of it many times, just thinking I'm crazy, it's too big a project, don't do it. And then I kept on coming back.
You just kept coming back.
So here I am. I don't know, I love it. I want to keep it, I want to save it. So I'm going to try and retain as much of the original as I can. The whole core will stay. The outside will come off and then it will be rebuilt. Mm-hmm. Pretty much the same footprint. So it'll be a mission, it'll be hard, but yeah, that's the goal.
Okay. Well, I can see the beautiful old pan tiles here. I can see the chimney falling over. A few things out here. That looks very precarious. Yeah, so I can see underneath all of this, there's some structural stuff to be done. That's my assumption already. What's it like inside?
It gets worse as we go. Come and have a look.
I'd love to see what's going on.
You'd expect over 200 years, respective owners might add, augment or restyle for extra space, or out of personal taste, hopefully sympathetically, not in outright hostility.
So this is the veranda area.
Oh, this is nasty.
It's not great, is it?
Not great. No, I mean, all of this then gone.
Yep, and
Yep.
it will come back to an old open-style Georgian veranda.
Nice. Okay. So all gone. Some heritage reinstatement to be done. That's this beautiful space out here.
Yes.
What about the disaster that's waiting in here? I can tell already.
Right, so this is the main living area.
Doesn't get much better in here, does it?
Not really, no. Probably worse.
It's a pretty modest footprint, really. You can really tell there's been a lot of lives through this space.
Absolutely.
This is the room. Like, it all pretty much happened here.
Yep.
You came in, took your boots off, and you ended up here. The fire was on. This over here, though, This is what's got me a bit worried.
Concerning.
Yeah, this has fallen off already. Ooh. And the more I point, the more dangerous it gets.
It's actually very damp.
It feels damp. Yeah, ouch. So have you done an inspection all around the walls then?
No. I'm very scared.
And I'm standing on a very spongy floor here, which makes me think, oh, there's a lot of demo to probably be done now. Have you taken up the carpets?
We've only taken them up in the corners, and really you can just see dirt, and there's a lot of plywood under it, so it hasn't been taken up in the middle here, so it's going to be a little bit of an experiment when that all starts to come up.
Can I ask the question another way? Do you know what you're in for?
No.
Do you have a sense?
It's a little scary.
It's a little scary. I get it. I mean,
It's a pocket-sized space, but it holds a multitude of dramas. And speaking of scary...
These are the steepest stairs I think I've probably ever seen in my life. Look at that.
And the most dangerous, I'd suggest.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, like it's a 2-to-1 the riser to the going.
It's more of a ladder than a staircase. And here's another challenge for Kelly. How to introduce a compliant staircase, a more graduated climb from the postage stamp of a living room.
You need climbing gear to get up here.
And hold on.
Hold on. Yeah, good advice.
Up to the second floor of the original house.
So because the ceilings are so low here, they can't be classified as bedrooms. So it'll be sort of storage attic spaces up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, it's usable, isn't it? But it's just not to code.
That's right.
One of the things I do really like is the view from out here.
Yeah, the view's beautiful. It's part of what I fell in love with, I think.
Absolutely.
Looking out, it's breathtaking. Looking within, it's nerve-wracking. Rising damp, crumbling bricks, spongy floors, an unlivable room above a cramped one, and a bunch of scary, ugly additions. So where to begin? Well, the add-ons get subtracted for a start, leaving that central, very simple, original 1820s stack. Kelly's solving her spongy floor issue with concrete, which, she's told, will also help stabilise the structure. Once crumbling bricks are replaced and rising damp conquered. A new, compliant staircase will fit once a little of the upstairs floor is sacrificed for safer ascent. The attic storage area will get fresh paint and a new floor. Then it's Kelly creature comfort time. Into the former footprint goes a bedroom with walk-in robe and ensuite bathroom. There's a mudroom. The original bathroom and entry will get a workover. A new kitchen goes in behind a repurposed living dining room. Then another bedroom with a little bathroom wedged in for good measure. Out the front, a wide and welcoming open veranda. And on top, a sparkling new galvanised roof. So a colonial cubbyhole becomes something of a 21st century TARDIS. Amazing amenity for the space.
How are you going to treat the old and the new? It's one of those classic questions I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
But in this instance, you don't want that kind of faux, restoration or faux Georgian. You want something authentic.
Which I feel like it's going to be really hard to get that balance, but hopefully with keeping as much of the original timbers, as much of the original doors, hopefully I'll be able to reuse some of those wooden windows, bringing the front veranda, opening it back up to what it used to be. There'll be as much of the old stuff in there as I can possibly use.
Yeah, okay. So I know that you bought the property for $810,000.
Yep.
How much are you going to spend on this?
500,000's the goal.
$500,000?
Yep.
$500,000, but we're not quite sure what the project really is yet. Good luck.
Don't make me nervous.
Good luck. You're kind of taking a bit of a, well, we'll see.
I do have a lot of ideas, but I don't want to make any final decisions until the house is gutted, because I feel like if I make all the decisions now, there's going to be too many compromises, whereas if I just hold off, do one step at a time, might be a bit of an easier process.
Okay. So not exactly knowing what you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take you?
Look, I'll go with 12 months. That would be an ultimate goal. If it's not saved now, it will be on the ground within 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean...
I feel that.
It is literally falling apart as we speak.
Yeah. You've got to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not done now, we'll literally be lost.
Yeah, you've got to move. Kelly, it's a beautiful project. Actually, it's not a beautiful project. It's going to be a beautiful project. I'm sure you're going to save it. I just hope it matches up to that vision that's in your head of the thing you fell in love with.
Look, definitely going to try. Hopefully I can do it some justice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
While Kelly's heart is certainly in the right place, there's always a precarious balancing act with restoration. Take too much away and replace with shiny new materials and you lose the heritage charm that attracted you to the building in the first place. And finding that sweet spot can be hard. In this case, the ugly additions have fortunately protected the almost 200-year-old Georgian-era core, but getting the new elements of the restoration balanced with the old will be critical for the design and building team. Blending recycled materials with new takes real skill, but also a commitment to the original feel of the property. Otherwise, you could just end up with another shiny, Georgian-themed mass production. And I don't think anybody, especially Kelly, wants that. For Shannon View's shaky, shoddy additions, it was going to be a case of what brought them tumbling down first. The very imminent, very pressing weight of time and the elements. Or a team of deft deconstructors who'll take special care to peel away these ugly extensions and ensure the original core is upright at the end. Thankfully, they're here in the nick of time.
Gravity plays a part in keeping things together. So there's a lot of beams resting on beams, and so you just got to be careful that something doesn't come down and go the wrong direction, I guess.
For head deconstructive surgeon Mark, it's softly, steady as she goes.
Basically, you've got to suck it and see, really. And you never know how they're constructed, so we'll just play it by ear and just take our time and, yeah, just be very careful.
With all of Kelly's work and study obligations, it's impossible for her to be on site for each and every critical phase of this project.
We're the much-loved unpaid farm labourers.
That's when Dad Peter steps in.
It's being able to be here and Kelly go to work and she's not worried that things are going to get out of control because she's explained exactly what she wants done today, for example. Anything comes up, I can have those conversations. Quick text, end of story. Funny, I thought that today I'll be standing here really shaking every time they started to do something. But they're being really careful.
The original building is built on stout and substantial granite footings. Still, the team proceeds cautiously, using the heavy equipment like a scalpel. Peter's ex-military, very senior. He's seen plenty of well-drilled, well-oiled operations, so praise from him is praise indeed.
Certainly, it's going better than I expected. When you get big machinery around 200-year-old stuff, you never know what's going to happen. Mark's doing a phenomenally delicate job here with that machinery. I'm really impressed with that. So he's taking all the care he can, but so far, so good. Hi, darling.
Hello, how are you going?
Well, we're going okay. It's gone really well so far. I'll show you.
It's gone.
It's gone, that's right.
The house is still standing. Woo. Oh, wow, how exciting.
So it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Looks amazing, Dean. What are we going to do with it? Can we keep it?
Well, it's just floating in the breeze now, and we've got some serious rot in this joist.
In this one here?
Yeah, so it's got to be replaced.
With the dust cleared, the demo has uncovered hidden layers, walls behind walls.
I'm just amazed that this wall was under the previous wall. I feel like we just have to keep it. Are we going to be able to?
I think there may be some cracking, but we've got enough to work with.
And as Kelly and builder Dean figure out how to save the delicate, degraded timber, there's an added reason she's keen to make the most of what's here.
Because this, to me, is beautiful, and these...
Yet another layer. Under old wallpaper, backing that plays directly to Kelly's own passions, horses and racing. A hidden collage of turf reporting and racing forms from the early 20th century.
This is the one with a date on it. This is a cool one. 1915 racing. Is it Wyong? One race is at Wyong?
Wyong?
So that's pretty special to me.
Yeah, nice.
This one's actually from the 1915 Melbourne Cup, which I just think is amazing. I'd really like to keep this piece, and if it won't go on the wall, I might frame that one because I think it'd be pretty cool to keep a couple in a frame. I just can't get over the fact that most of it is the sports section with a lot of the racing history, which, being an ex-jockey, is right up my alley.
Yeah, it's actually too far gone. You can see how much rot is in here.
This is kind of all the unexpecteds that I was expecting, all the rot and the what can't be saved. I wasn't expecting to find anything beautiful that we can save under it.
Exactly, yeah.
Dean will attempt to preserve as much of the timber and the sports memorabilia as possible as he dismantles this wall, then builds a new, sympathetic but solid weight-bearing one to underpin the sagging upstairs floor. Kelly will try to incorporate the salvage materials elsewhere in the restoration. Two months on, it's winter. The icy grass is crunching underfoot. The horses are rugged against the chill. These south coast mornings are freezing.
So the concrete pour goes in today. You can see the underfloor heating, 0 degrees outside. I'm pretty happy to be having some warm flooring in here, so I think that'll be good.
Stripped to its barest components, the original cottage looks like it could teeter over in the merest gust of winter wind. The new concrete floor is a structural imperative.
Originally, I really wanted floorboards because obviously that's what they would have had, but every recommendation from the engineers came back with the heated concrete flooring will help to dry the bricks out over the years and maintain their structure. So the concrete decision was actually a structural one. It's better for the old bricks. How many hours do you think it'll take to do this?
All day.
Yeah, right, wow.
Yeah.
Peter and Kelly's mum Lindy are here for what is a key event in this rescue.
I'm going to leave this one to the experts.
It's going well. It's kind of getting exciting again now, so...
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, I can't sort of believe it, actually, in lots of ways.
No. Well, what fascinates me is that here you have something that started in 1829, and here we are with laser levels and all of these mod cons there, which we can't do without. Yet these guys did all of this just a bit of water in a glass and things like that to level it up. I find it amazing.
They must have known something, because if they build something like that and it's lasted 200 years,
We've definitely got it easier, and I just can't help but be so impressed with the ingenuity, determination. It's just beautiful.
Away from site, Lindy and Peter have been helping Kelly compile a history of the cottage. They know the original owner, Irishman Francis Flanagan, was up against it, building his colonial dream home. But he did manage to pull some strings and muster some help.
He had nine convicts assigned to him, so he had physical help.
Yeah, he had labour.
But, I mean, here he was.
If I had 9 convicts, I'd do a lot of things.
Oh, you've only got one. So there you go. When do I get my ticket of leave?
It's been 53 years.
What was the sentence? Life, yeah, never to be released. He arrives in Sydney on the 2nd of June in 1827 on the Aurelia.
Yeah, Aurelia.
He wanted to become a farmer.
Lindy and Peter's holiday house in nearby Turos Head has become a busy specialist research centre on the subject of Francis Flanagan, Irish tailor turned aspiring colonial farmer.
There's a letter here to the Land Board.
Oh, okay. What did they got to
to the
say?
Land Board. He's trying to go through the system, but he gets knocked back.
He's obviously very literate.
The powers that be persistently refused Flanagan's request for a land grant.
There you go, got it here. A reoccurring theme in his appeals was the unfair treatment of Irish settlers.
Frustrated by a hostile bureaucracy, Flanagan went straight to the top. In a barrage of letters, he implored then Governor Ralph Darling to grant him a parcel of farmable land.
There is a classic comment in here on a note from the Secretary to Governor Darling, who says that the Governor is of the opinion that Francis Flanagan is a, quote, pain in the arse, unquote.
Who would have ever thought that they used that expression?
then.
Well, he was persistent.
Yeah, absolutely persistent. And of course, after several exchanges, he actually gets his land grant. He's not going to be mucked around by the bureaucracy.
Well done.
Yeah, well done, Francis.
But it came at a cost. Flanagan's ailing wife and mother of his 2 children died in the long wait for a grant. And there was a caveat. If Flanagan wanted land, it had to be beyond what was described as the limits of settlement. Basically, uncharted territory.
He actually had to go down south to look for this land and to actually choose it, because he was told he had to go to the furthest part of the land, the settlement really, and that was the Moruya River, north of the Moruya River. Well, he thought, right, I'll go that far. At least I guess he would be thinking it's rich and fertile because he was on the coast, and it actually was a relatively good year apparently that year.
It's a classic example of someone who really sticks to their guns. It seems to me, with his perseverance, his determination, his downright bloody-mindedness, that it's quite appropriate that Kelly should buy the house.
Yes,
I mean, it all fits, doesn't it?
Personality.
It fits perfectly.
Where would she get that from?
Where would she get that from?
Can't imagine.
Must have been you.
Kelly's discovered a contemporary connection to Francis Flanagan.
Well, initially he started with 1,200 acres.
Matthew Keating's a local historian whose great-great-grandfather worked at Shannon View as Flanagan quickly grew his holding.
And built the house where it is on the hill. Then he added another 1,200, a bit over 1,200 acres to that. So by the end of the 1830s, he was farming 2,500 acres, which would be a big farm now. He had 800 cows, 200 pigs, and 12 horses. And, you know, you can imagine to feed 800 cows, you would have had to clear a lot of pasture. To feed 200 pigs, you couldn't feed them on table scraps. So you would have been growing corn and barley and products like that. You know, you would have been working the land with draft horses, which meant that they had to be fed.
A lot of land, yep.
So it would have been a really significant enterprise.
Moruya would eventually take shape in the mid to late 1800s as the farming and fishing communities grew.
Today, it's a lively riverside town and a popular regional holiday destination.
Francis became a magistrate and was really quite a pillar of the community.
Despite his profound influence here, Francis Flanagan's grave in the local cemetery is relatively modest. The headstone notes his second wife, Bridget, a convict transported for stealing sheep.
He died in 1863, and by that time he was a very well-respected pioneer of the area.
Yeah.
He started a very strong Irish Catholic community here in Moruya. By that time, the population of Irish Catholics in the New South Wales colony was only about 25%. Here in Moruya, it was about 50%.
Wow.
And, that's all because of him.
They're here, let's do it.
All these years on, Francis Flanagan's simple little building is getting a new iron roof.
I have been worried the whole time about, yes, replacing the old beautiful rusty roof, but as you can see, it's already gone, so I'm sort of over that phase. I can't wait to see that roof go on. So excited.
Not without its challenges though, working on the old timbers that have shifted and skewed over the years.
There could be a nightmare like that. If the actual frames are running out, I've got to keep my sheet straight in the gutter line. And if the frames are running out, they're going to want to twist and warp, and then it doesn't marry up at the other side, and it could be fun.
This is an aspect of the project that will radically change the nature of the place. But swapping out the rusty old patinaed roof and all the history it represents with shiny new tin is a must-do if Kelly is going to be able to harvest a potable and sustainable supply of fresh water.
No, we're running good now, so we will be able to creep it a little bit.
We've seen how cold it gets down here. That thick layer of new insulation will be working hard in tandem with the new heated ground floor.
Actually, it looks pretty cool. It's not too bright. This has been one of my biggest fears, that it just looks horrible on the old house, but I actually think it looks all right. I'm happy with it. I think we're doing well.
The old rusted sheets will find new purpose, patching outbuildings and boxing garden beds. This is a salvage, reuse and repurpose operation, as much as possible.
You want to see some of the characters still, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Like all that. Like,
bit of scratches and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're so old. Like,
Yeah, like
got to have history.
you can get it.
It's an effort to retain and reharness the original building's DNA.
I was all about all the bad things that I'd find when we started ripping it apart, but this is one of the best things that I found. Originally, I wanted floorboards downstairs because that's what would have been there, but I chose to have the concrete for the preservation of the walls and a few other reasons. But to then find these upstairs underneath the carpet, it was an awesome find. So yeah, it's really important to keep these.
These beautiful old boards will go back where they came from. And with the new roof providing protection from the weather, some of that internal work can get cracking. Four months in, spring is in the air, so the perfect time to spring a visit.
Hey, Kelly.
But it turns out the surprises are all mine.
Where's it all gone?
My cost-saving strategy, knock half the house down.
Oh, wow. I mean, you really kind of got stuck in, haven't you?
Yes.
I mean, the character of it has changed enormously with all of that curtilage gone now. Nice new roof up there. That's got to feel very satisfying.
The rusty roof was something that I loved about the
Yeah,
property.
yeah.
I didn't really want to change it. But now that it's on, I do love it.
Yeah.
It's not too bright, I don't think.
It'll settle down pretty quickly, though.
Yeah.
The new chimney.
Looks good.
Doesn't it look good? And I'm actually, at this stage of the build, I'm a little surprised to see it so well finished. I thought it'd still be kind of in process or, but so that's great to see.
The crumbling bricks and mortar that were collapsing and setting Shannon View's chimney on a precarious lean have been replaced, and now it's as straight and steadfast as the newly supported walls of Francis Flanagan's little house.
So you can see the metal angle braces that have gone in the whole way along.
Yeah. This beam through here looks pretty serious. So some good hardware's gone in to stabilise the building is what it's looking like.
The beam actually is sort of like it is now. It will be exposed, but it's got a hardwood piece that goes over the front. So that will match to the stairs are going to be wood.
Okay, so now we've got steel and concrete and heritage fabric.
That's right.
Okay, interesting. So we're actually kind of setting up a really interesting sort of palette of the new being inserted inside the old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how to kind of keep those two things reinforcing each other rather than competing with each other.
That's right.
That must be on your mind, I'm sure it is.
Oh, it's tricky.
Yeah.
It's very tricky.
Such a small space with so many materials. It's like a mixed media collage crammed into a tiny frame. It's going to be interesting to see how, or even if, Kelly can make it all work.
Do you like the stairs?
I like the stairs.
Especially when that new, slightly larger staircase she's planning further crams the space.
This is fantastic up here, isn't it? Like, it's so much more space now that you've kind of cleaned it out and given it some more elbow room. Don't the floorboards look fantastic?
They look beautiful. So that was what was under those horrendous layers of carpet that was up there before.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic, this space up here.
Okay, so now comes yet another challenging phase, the additions. How to add comfort and scale to the original house without gobbling up all its historical charm. In Moruya, a key member of the crack Shannon View research unit has uncovered a blockbuster story.
These huge granite blocks.
It places the town and the community, made possible in no small part by Francis Flanagan, at the heart of one of Australia's greatest engineering feats, the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Moruya certainly had a massive amount of granite. They'd already been quarrying for probably 100 years before. But when they were planning the building of the Harbour Bridge, the engineer and the British contractors called on the Moruya quarry to do so.
The quarries of Moruya, 170 miles away, were specially opened and equipped to supply stone for the approaches and the 20,000 cubic yards of granite required for the piers and the pylons.
A big, purpose-built village was established a few kilometres from Moruya to house the 250 or so stonemasons and their families involved in the giant quarrying exercise. It was called Granite Town. The neighbouring quarry was dedicated to one task, providing perfectly sized, beautifully prepared blocks for the bridge.
The workers actually came from everywhere, 23 different nationalities, but predominantly Scots and Italians. And their precision was absolutely incredible. They cleaved out these giant pieces of stone and then honed them into exact size, and each and every one of them had to be numbered, and off they went to Sydney on their own ships.
It was a huge bridge-by-numbers construction effort, as each block found its designated spot on one of the bridge's imposing pylons.
Blocks of stone were dressed and effaced before shipment to Sydney, all ready to slip into their positions in the great structure.
It was an enthralling spectacle for the Depression-era crowds in Sydney, as this monumental structure inched across the harbour from south and north.
It certainly played a crucial role in Moruya's history. And to think that that sort of granite's the same granite that's on the footings of Kelly's house, I think it's phenomenal. I guess I'll never look at the Harbour Bridge again without thinking about it. The giant pylons built from the quarries from here. And the house, of course, is very small compared to the Harbour Bridge, but it's a huge undertaking by Kelly. And certainly an important and interesting project, historical project for Moruya.
At Shannon View, the fanning footprint of Kelly's extension has now become readily evident. A new concrete pad wraps around the original building, and plenty of timber framework is up. But despite all the engineering work, the steel and the stabilising, the original structure is still presenting headaches.
This wall was originally covered up. These bricks have never been exposed like this, so there was always something over them protecting them, and now they're so brittle
Unstable cladding and plaster was stripped off the bricks in the early demolition phase. So these 200-year-old handmade bricks have been exposed to the elements for more than 6 months.
My biggest fear with the wall is that I lose, well, the whole lot or even a part of it, because the 200-year-old bricks is what makes this house. And it's the whole mission, essentially, is to save them. So the longer it's open, the longer it's exposed, the bigger the risk that I'm going to have to replace bricks or even a portion of it could fall down.
Saving it means getting it solidly rendered, but a specialist tradie has been difficult to find.
They are crumbling before our eyes, so we've had lots of issues trying to find a renderer who will actually do the job. We've had a couple, Kelly's found a couple, and then they've pulled out. So yes, there is a worry, and that's a big worry, that these bricks might crumble too far before someone gets to fix them.
We were very worried at the start for Kelly that she wouldn't be able to get the trades that she needed when she needed them. So there's been a nervousness, and Kelly's had to live with this tension all the way through, that in order to repair the damage of time and neglect, that we had to run the risk of the house hemorrhaging. So it's been nerve-wracking, and we've got to make sure that we move pretty quickly to get them rendered and stop the weather eating away at them.
If I lose the bricks, essentially that's the 200-year-old house gone. So, trying to save it.
Meanwhile, the work that can go on goes on. Roofing the extension should at least keep some of the weather off the unstable bricks.
I think that should be enough for us.
Just flick it round, turn round, just go round there.
And there are other challenges to distract Kelly, like will the new, larger staircase actually fit?
I'm very nervous right now.
We're good to go up the tread. And we are on, yep.
It's longer and wider than the original, and it's slotting into a very confined space.
Spot on. Well, let's leave it there.
As you'd expect, the squares and angles of the new timber staircase are machined to precision. Problem is, the space it's going into is not.
You can push that outside back. It's a fair bit out of square,
So
isn't
you
it?
can see how out of square it is. That's what you get from an old heritage house. That wall.
And the building, that side and that side are not the same length either, so it's like this.
It was probably eyed back in the day, done with eye.
Yeah, they're all drunk.
Someone got a walkie eye.
Just disappears.
That was after half a carton of beer.
Builder Dean has come to know the crooked foibles of Francis Flanagan's house very well. He's learned to think laterally and, of course, vertically and horizontally to get this restoration to work.
The whole stairs.
We're thinking of releasing all these, Sam.
Yep.
And releasing the bugles and just kicking that wall over to skew the whole thing over.
Yeah, that could work a bit. How are we looking on the inside? It's good. Inside's good. Because we've got, what, 10 mil in the corner, we go that way, there's another 10 in. What are we looking at there, Darren?
That seemed like it moved heaps.
I wouldn't go any further.
So we've moved it over about 30 mil to the wall, but the wall's still not straight, so it's causing some issues, but I think they're going to have to be afterwards solutions. So we'll get the stairs in, get them locked in place, and we'll go from there. It's the best we can do.
Just somewhere there. Yep, right, yeah. Awesome.
Can I walk on it yet?
Go for it.
I've been busting to do this. Actually go upstairs. Ow. I'm ready to move in now.
Not so fast.
Kelly and her team have made good progress in 7 months, but there's still plenty to do within her 12-month timeframe. And those precarious bricks remain exposed.
It's striking country, but it must have felt like another planet when Francis Flanagan came here, forged his way through the bush, staked out his holding and built his basic, boxy, 2-storey farmhouse. It was built to last, but I bet he'd be surprised that it stood for so long, and he'd be astounded that all these years later, someone's wandered along and said, I love this little place, I'm going to save it and give it a whole new life. I bet he'd be chuffed. But now that the restoration is finished, I wonder if Kelly is. Kelly!
Hi, Anthony, how you going?
You must feel like a guardian angel having sort of resurrected this thing from the ashes.
It's come back from nowhere, hasn't
How
it?
good does it look? I mean, I can't believe this is a 200-year-old building.
Yep, fingers crossed, it's going to stand for another 200 years now, after all this effort. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of how it's come up.
You know, I think what you've got here is a beautiful sort of farmhouse country picture.
Yeah.
It speaks to its age in a very lovely kind of way. I do really like the fact that the front facade there, now you've opened up the veranda, it feels appropriate.
Yeah, look, that was my vision for it. Definitely feel like it's home. Always sort of felt at home on the property. So now to have the house finished, yes, definitely feels like I'm home and starting to enjoy living here. I can start to relax a little bit now.
The repurposing and recycling effort at Shannon View begins at the front door and Francis Flanagan's centuries-old original.
Looks great.
Yeah, but unfortunately it wasn't structurally sound enough to retain as the actual door.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the decision was made to turn it into the screen door so I could
You got to keep it though?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Because we never used this door, we used that door.
No, this was actually permanently closed. It never actually opened, I think, because the house was so crooked. I'm not really sure. But
I mean, I love this veranda space. I think you're going to get heaps of use out of this.
Definitely.
And, you know, sunrise, sunset, cup of coffee, gin and tonic. You're going to be out here a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go inside.
Sure. All right, welcome to the new lounge room.
Oh, wow. A complete resurrection, wouldn't you say?
Resurrection probably is a good word for it.
The colonial dirt floor in this pocket-sized space got a 20th century layer of plywood and carpet and is now a 21st century pad of polished, heated concrete.
I mean, normally I would not advocate for concrete in an old building like this one, but I think here you've solved so many issues that need to be solved through that one move. And it does look really good. It actually gives you a kind of a nice, clean slate, if you like, to let all the other texture come forward.
And it's level.
God forbid. The bricks are phenomenal.
It kind of happened because the renderer left a little bit for the brickie to do, and then when the brickie had finished, I'm like, just leave it like that. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, that looks awesome. That wall has been specially treated with it's a brick glue.
Yep.
That seals them all together, so.
Are they now stable?
Yes, and the mantle's from the old stables.
I can see over here too, you've got the old wallpaper, is it, that you've put in a frame?
Yeah, I originally wanted to sort of have some of the wallpaper back on the wall, but it was just too old, too fragile. That paper's got 1915 and 1912 on it, so took a little bit of tricky work to get it together.
Yeah. And that's particularly important for you too because of the horses, right?
That's right, because most of it was all the racing section. There's a few old articles which are gold.
Yeah, very on brand.
That's right, it's perfect.
That's destiny speaking to us, through the walls, quite literally.
Again, the original doors are on show, but in all their raw glory, hanging from their hand-forged hinges and leather washers.
They're new washers. I had to hand cut them, measured from the 200-year-old washers, which like were just so paper thin.
Was that one of those insane moments where you're like, what am I doing? I mean, I'm literally cutting a leather washer.
Yeah, and I actually didn't think it'd work until we rehung the doors, and it was like, wow.
Yeah, it works.
Actually, yeah, beautiful.
All that wriggling, persuading, nudging and pleading finally paid off with the spanking new, more climber-friendly staircase.
You fixed this, the renderer managed to kind of fix that gap that was there?
Yeah, he did a great job working on that.
Oh, this feels almost comfortable. Safe.
A little bit different than the last set.
Yeah, a little bit. This is a huge transformation up here, isn't it?
Yeah, looks amazing.
Kelly's worked wonders with the old cluttered attic space of Flanagan's original cottage.
Because you had like a closet over there, you had like one sort of funky room over here, another one over there. It was all kind of mixed up, wasn't it?
Funky room, I like that. Yeah, well, it's been opened up with the walls coming down to a mid-wall.
Yep. It's a generous room, actually, for the kind of house that you've got here. It feels nice and elbowy. This is such a beautiful timber floor. The original boards being kind of polished and brought back up. It's such a great colour.
Yeah, and there's actually so many colours in them. I think it's part of what makes it look so good.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, everything in here is starting to feel like it's plumb level, more or less.
Relatively.
Relatively. I suppose you don't want to kind of get it too plumb and too level because that takes all the character out of the place.
I don't think it was ever going to be too plumb because it was governed by the big brick walls and the rendering. None of that's straight.
Yeah.
So.
You got to keep the spirit of the house, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course, the upstairs-downstairs of the simple 1829 house now forms the core of Kelly's extended home. All the comforts fanning into the footprint of the demolished veranda and ad hoc add-ons, now far more comfy and coherent. A simple but neatly appointed kitchen, a guest bedroom, an ensuite bathroom, a mudroom for when Kelly's mucked out the stables and is making for the snazzy new bathroom off the main bedroom.
I suppose the most beautiful thing about this particular room is from here you can see the paddock where the horses are.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favourite parts of the whole thing. Yeah. So in the mornings when I wake up, they're standing right there at the gate waiting for breakfast.
It's a delightful array of new spaces that acknowledge the cornerstone structure, celebrating the original brick walls and segueing across original timbers. Kelly's respected and protected the authenticity of Shannon View, but she's made it her own.
You've been through some pretty physically challenging periods in your life. I mean, does it ever occur to you that it was just a mad thing to do, to go into a building project while you were actually in that physical state? Like, it's a very brave thing to do.
I think anyone that knows me knows that I take on mad things.
Yeah.
All too many at once. I was still going through rehabilitation and now, fingers crossed, I'm through all of the surgeries that I need. I'm held together with a lot of screws and bolts, but I feel like I've got a few things in common with the house. Yeah, I can be in the saddle at sunrise and sip some cocktails at sunset.
Who doesn't want that, right?
That's right.
Your mum and dad, they've been a huge part of this project along the ride with you.
Yeah.
How's it been working with your mum and dad so closely?
Look, they've been great, and honestly, I wouldn't be here now this far along if it wasn't for them. Oh, look, there were a few moments, but we ironed them out.
Yeah. You started off with a budget of $500,000.
Yep.
So where'd you end up?
Pretty close to 600,000.
600,
yeah,
okay.
So not
20% over.
Too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
The overage, what do you put that down to?
I had to put the extra steel in. Yeah. The extra beam had to go in, and so it was just kind of the on-flow effects.
Yeah, and I remember you saying 12 months, I think, was your initial timeline. Where have we ended up?
Bang on 12 months.
12 months, so you actually came in on time?
Yep. Nearly to the day. I'm still a bit shocked. I definitely was very thankful for the amount of local trades that jumped on board, and when I said to them something crazy like, you need to do that next week, they turned around and said, sure, we can do that for you.
You think maybe it had something to do with your dad being in the military?
Potentially.
He drives a pretty tough...
tight ship.
Tight ship, that's right. So what do you think Francis Flanagan would think about what you've done here?
I think he's pretty happy with things. Yeah, that's my feeling. Funnily enough, one of my friends suggested a séance to see if we could bring him back to actually get his thoughts on the matter. Not sure that we're going to pull that one off, but it'd be interesting to hear what he had to say.
Yeah. Well, if you do get in touch, let us know, will you? I'd be curious
Sure.
to know what he had to say as well. So, I mean, with all this, again, you know, congratulations. It feels like you've given yourself a beautiful place to kind of finally have a rest.
Yes.
Finally take all this in, this beautiful place that you've got for yourself.
Yes.
Surrounding yourself with the landscape, your horses, the lifestyle that you imagined, and you've saved a beautiful little piece of Australian history, which is a total bonus. So good on you for doing that.
All right. Thank you. It's pretty relaxing being here, I must say.
It's pretty good.
Here comes Noel's car. Hello. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh, it's an apple tree, so it's for the horses.
I thought the horses can benefit too.
Are they the original bricks? Yep. Yeah. 200 years old. Yes. Convict bricks.
Yes.
It's amazing that I get beautiful sunset and sunrises.
Yeah, because the colours, the light changes.
Yeah.
That is just a picture.
Yeah. To everyone that's here tonight, I'd like to say a big thank you. It has been amazing to have so much support within the community. And to Mum and Dad, a very big thank you for all the help, because I couldn't have done it without you guys. So a big cheers to the house.
Cheers! Cheers to you.
Kelly's never been able to pin down precisely what it was about this tumble-down building that first got her in. There was just something about it. That intuition is inexplicable, but can also be powerful and goes a long way, perhaps, to explaining her beautiful relationship with her horses, but also her deep conviction that this place should never crumble into oblivion. Shannon View needed a champion, and it found one in Kelly.